We're really not that far away now from the iPhone 12 series of phones. 4 phones in the lineup according to the leaks. Should you wait? Should you jump in and get an iPhone 11 now? Should you wait until they come out? I'm going to go through all the different leaks that we've got and the different areas that are getting improved, and hopefully you'll be a bit clearer by the end of this video. Firstly, let's look at the screens, and really it still hinges on whether or not the Pro models get a 120Hz refresh rate. Right now, most people are saying that they are getting them, but there are some other leakers saying that 120Hz isn't coming until next year. To be honest, 120Hz is a big game changer in phones. High refresh rates just do fundamentally change the way that a phone feels. If they do have 120Hz, I would definitely say that that is a really good and compelling reason to wait for these phones. If they don't, then you're just going to be getting some 60Hz OLED panels, which aren't really going to be different from what we have now in terms of the iPhone 11 and even going back to the iPhone XS and 10. Battery life in these phones, it's not going to change from what we have in previous years and models. It doesn't really matter how big physically the battery is, how many milliamp hours it is. You know that Apple really make the battery big enough to last about a day. And battery life in iPhones has got better over the years. And especially if you go for the Pro Max, the bigger version, you're going to get really good battery life. But it's going to be a more powerful processor in here. And if we do get 120Hz on the screens, it's a big battery drain. So really, battery life overall isn't something to wait for. It really just is going to be the same year over year. You're going to get about a day or so from the battery. So don't wait for the iPhone 12 series if you're hoping for big battery upgrades. It's going to be more or less the same. The processor, and yeah, I'm excited about the processor. The A14 Bionic, we think it's going to be called a 5nm chipset. And this is, I would say, quite a big improvement over what we have now. So the A13 is a 7nm. There are some 6nm chips in the works from different companies, but the best of the best is 5nm. This is going to be the same process as next year's flagship Android processor, the Snapdragon 875. That will be 5nm. Also, Huawei planned to use a 5nm chipset in their flagship phones. Exynos from Samsung, that will be going into 5nm, but the first and the biggest is Apple with the A14. The jump from 7nm to 5nm is going to bring with it some pretty big advantages, and we're already seeing some of these leak out. So this was the leak that maybe the iPhone will support crazy frame rates and resolution this year for video. The leak suggests that you can record on the iPhone 12 in 240 frames a second at 4K, which is honestly totally unbelievable to be able to do that on a smartphone. Massively expensive DSLR cameras can't do this, although they do have much bigger sensors, and the iPhone sensors are quite small, but still the processing power you need from a chipset to record in that huge and high resolution and the slow motion is just crazy. That's just one leak that we have about the processing power. Obviously, at the moment, we don't have any benchmark results telling us how powerful it is, but it's obviously quite a big jump, and we're going to get much better improvements in terms of image processing for video and photo, in terms of colors and also dynamic range. We know Apple uses Deep Fusion. This is obviously going to get a big jump as well. So the A14 itself may well be a reason to wait for these phones. And let's talk about the camera. So what we know from leaks anyway at the moment is that really the setups are going to be really unchanged overall, although we're looking at some just quality upgrades. So the Pro and the Pro Max, definitely still triple camera systems, an ultra wide and main and a zoom camera. Lots of leaks suggesting maybe it will move from 2x to 3x, which is a good upgrade overall. Nothing major, but certainly would be welcome. There have also been lots of rumors that just the zoom range, the digital zoom on top of the optical zoom, may increase as well. With the better processor, this should be something Apple can do, so we hope to see that, but just leaks for now, nothing really confirmed. What I did like though is that, if we can believe the leaks anyway, all 4 phones getting good camera setups. So the Pro versions getting those triple camera setups, maybe the addition of a LiDAR sensor in the Pro and Pro Max Won't really change images too much though. But what's really good is the two non-Pro models, the 12 and 12 Max, having dual cameras with an ultra wide, and that's just a really useful camera setup, ultra wide and main. And the prices for those look pretty good, under 800 bucks even for the Max, and under 700 bucks for the iPhone 12 with dual cameras. So yeah, I think the camera setups actually look really good across the whole range. Are you going to see a massive difference in quality if you've got an iPhone 11 Pro? You're going to see a yearly upgrade. If you've got an iPhone 10 or an iPhone 8, you're going to see massive upgrades in all of these phones because you get an extra ultra wide angle and massively better quality. So depending on which iPhone you got, you may want to wait. Coming to the operating system, and we've seen Apple take the lid off iOS 14, which looks fantastic. Tons of customization on there, which no one ever would have thought Apple to give us. It looks really amazing, but it's not a feature that will be exclusive to the iPhone 12 series. It's coming to pretty much all phones in the modern era for Apple. So yeah, you don't need to wait until the iPhone 12 if you're just looking for a new feeling on your phone. iOS 14 will be coming to a lot more iPhones. Form factor and design, this isn't something that you should wait to upgrade for. Yes, we're getting the flat edge design, a new design, hopefully some slimmer bezels on there, and a flat design overall. It's going to look different, it's going to look new, but this isn't something that should change the way that you use a phone every day. So for me, not something that you should wait for. And then we come to 5G, and 5G is really important and should be in all of these phones according to leaks anyway, even the cheapest iPhone 12. This may be something you want to wait for. This is a big thing. 5G is coming. It's not here yet in most places, but most Apple users keep their phones for 3, even 4 years, and in that amount of time, 5G may be in your area and you might want to take advantage of it. And the first 5G iPhones coming are the iPhone 12 series, and that might be something you want to wait for. Overall, it looks like Apple are bringing us a lot more iterative upgrades this year, a change in the design, better cameras for sure, the best new chipset, and iOS 14 is looking great, although that will be coming to a lot more phones. Should you wait? It really depends on you, what phone you have, how much you're willing to spend. There are some big upgrades and 5G in these phones, and well, if you don't want these phones, when they're released, the older models will get a bit cheaper, so you might want to wait until the launch to decide if you're going to get a new phone. Anyway, that is it for this one. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you liked it, and I'll see you in the next one.